Greetings and welcome to Sparkles and Blessings. I'm Ducky and we are here for story number 38. We're continuing right on with my adventures and Stephen King. So, Stephen King came to me, the first book, well, he didn't come to me, but I first had my encounter with Stephen King's stories in the book Salem's Lot. And that was the 1977, then we moved to near Halifax. We moved to Greenwood, Nova Scotia, and they had a cinema there, a nice little cinema for the military personnel. Yeah, so shortly after we were settled in Greenwood, Nova Scotia, Frank brought home another book for me, and it was the movie Carrie. It was the book Carrie, and he said, "I want you to read this other book." And I was young. I was alone at home all day. It was hard to get a job in any rural area in Nova Scotia. So I started reading Carrie, and we all know Carrie. The majority of us know what happens, what the story's about. And then came eventually I finished it, and I thought that was a good story. I really enjoyed that. So, not long after that, the movie came out, Carrie, and I went with my husband to the cinema on base, and we sat down and we started to watch the movie, and I could not. We watched it, getting to the end, and I couldn't understand why my husband had his arm raised over my head and was keeping it there. I think it was a cemetery scene at the very end where the woman goes up to where the house was, and then all of a sudden this hand comes out, and that's when Frank kind of held me down from jumping out of my seat, and I found that pretty funny. Yeah. And that was how many years ago? Oh goodness, 48 years ago? 47. So that was my second encounter with Stephen King. I can take the years of my marriage basically, and if I go to one part of my married life, I go, oh yeah, I was reading that Stephen King book then, or I saw that Stephen King movie then. Yeah, there's a lot of those. Anyway, that was my story number 38, I think, and we're gonna call this one Stephen King Books I Have Known and Loved. Okay, I'm Ducky, and I want to thank you for joining me on Sparkles and Blessings. Please join me again. We're going to continue on with this theme for at least one or two more stories. So this is Ducky out.